Okay, let's try it again. Hi, everybody. I should have known. Okay, so now I'm going to try this like I usually do, because usually I forget to put my mute on. So I'm going to check, and I'm going to see that. Hi, everybody. Okay. I should have known. Okay, so now I'm going to. So if you turn your volume off, you're going to get closed captions. And if you turn your volume on, then you're going to be able to hear me, okay? There's a little lag here. So it's working. So hi, everybody. I hope you guys come back. It's always a little awkward. So I'm going to do my intro again, just so you guys get to see it, so you guys can catch up and come back to me. So here you go. One sec. What? Okay, I was checking it out. Okay, hey, it's round 2. It keeps us on our toes. You know, I haven't done this in so long. I should have known that I could have checked on my phone. Duh. But I felt, and then I watched it because I was trying to see if you guys could hear it or not. But I was thinking, I don't want to sit here and troubleshoot saying nothing. It's just kind of funny, right? So hopefully you guys can hear me. Woohoo! Oh. Woohoo, you're back. And that intro is radical. Thanks, Brian. It's like, I think it's like 50-something seconds. I was thinking it's too long. If you see other things like on YouTube and stuff, they're shorter. I do have this one just because it's only 5 seconds. And so I don't have any sound to it yet. But what do you think of this one? See, I gotta put sound to that one, because I was trying to do an audio like time for Candor with Katie. So here's my ticker, back after a month off. Whoop, whoop. So I didn't know. It's weird. Like you go through these like phases, you know, and you're just like, does anybody really care? Will they care if I come back? You know, it's like, because I love doing this. I really want to do more interviews and stuff because that's super fun. And I'm learning more and more about StreamYard. The difficulty is that I have to do all this stuff myself. Like if I had all the money in the world, I could have a production assistant. But getting this sucker helped a lot. So if you were watching the other one, I talked a little bit about how I traveled a little bit. I went to Montana, ran the Spartan. I got a terrible cold. Then I went to Tennessee. Excuse me, I'm burping. I went to Tennessee and I competed in the national champs and I got second. So I talked about that because there's my old trophy right there. Right there, and there's my new one. It's a lot smaller. It's a lot smaller, but that's okay. I mean, I haven't practiced enough. So Brian says, yep, could use some work. If you want advice, perhaps condense the first one. Super rad. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to put a couple of those things in there and do the countdown. Do like a 10-second thing. Thank you, though. I really loved working on it. It was really fun. So I shared a couple cemetery pics in the other one. This was my favorite one. I'll just do this one. I don't know why. I just freaking love it. Oh, there's my face. Hi. Isn't that weird? I mean, I don't know why I like it so much. It's just, I think it's just gorgeous. I guess you can't see my cursor thing. But I love, does anybody else here love going to old cemeteries and stuff? Like, I like the ones with like that, with all of the statues and stuff on it. I got to see my friend Angel, who is from Cleveland, Ohio, and then moved back. I helped her move back a few years ago. Here she is in her. She works at the Chattanooga Beard Company. Look how awesome she is. It's probably too far away for you to really see what she looks like there. But this is her natural hair. So she cut my hair. I cut 5 inches off my hair. You might not be able to tell, but it's a lot shorter. It's shorter than that picture too. So there she is, and that's natural hair for her right there. So that's pretty awesome. And then I tried to dog sit. Like, how could this be a hard dog to dog sit? Look at this face. That's in my car. But he didn't really know me. So it's my friends that had moved here from Dallas, Texas. And they bought an Anthem at this golf course community. So they had just moved, and then they were going out of town, and I was going to keep him for like 5 or 6 days. And he just sat at the door and cried. And like, I hadn't met him yet. And so I was like, so I took him to his other friend's house who had another dog, and then they had fun with it. But in Chattanooga or Nashville, we ate some of this stuff. You guys like barbecue? Look at that. We made quite a mess. It was delicious. So I don't have like a lot of pictures or anything, but you know, I've just been thinking a lot about Schnauzer. Okay, yeah, I hope you can hear me now, Shelly. Just like it's been weird coming out of COVID. Like, I mean, I know we're not out of it, but like the airports were super busy, like, and it didn't seem like that sanitary. And so like there's people walking around in the airports and you're wearing masks, maybe not wearing masks, then you get on the plane, like, you know, it's like, oh, you're supposed to stand 6 feet apart, but then you get on the plane and you're packed in like sardines. Yes, I can. Yay. Okay, that's good. So then I got back from there and I was really tired and stuff, and just tried to listen to my body and rest a little bit. Bigger the mess, the better the cue. Exactly. And the barbecue, usually has a lot of gluten-free stuff, so that's good for me. Good for you, Brian. So health-wise, like, so I started eating keto again. So Shelly, whoop, whoop. Not perfect, but I know I've dropped some pounds and some inches and stuff. I just don't weigh myself because I don't want to be discouraged. And it's not because, I mean, like, I'm a strong girl and stuff too, but like, muscle does not weigh more than fat. Like, they weigh the same, but a pound of muscle is a lot smaller than a pound of fat, you know? So I get it, but like, I'm feeling pretty happy and about that, and I have more energy and stuff. And it's better for my gluten allergies. So who else is on board there? Who else is eating keto? What are you doing? It's like I still, Shelly, sorry, I still cheat sometimes. Like on my birthday, I made myself a gluten-free birthday cake. Sometimes I have French fries, but I'm pretty good for about 2 to 5 days, and then I'll do something. But I am drinking a Vizzy tonight. So there you go. I'm not going to overdo it though. So another thing I did is I started to bee pollen, and this is like local, okay? And it's really strange, and they're very small. So if you can see that, see how they are? So they're very, very small. So it said to start out, see how small that is? Take 2 at a time, and then the next week go up 2 more, so take 4, and then the next week take, you know, so I had gotten up to 8. So I guess I'd done 4 weeks, mathematician that I am. And then it was weird because I knew it was helping me. The weirdest thing, because I used to take allergy shots. As you guys know, I have terrible allergies. I have to take this allergy pill, desloratadine or whatever. That's the only one that's worked. Thankfully, my friend Courtney McGuire introduced that to me. It's prescription, but it helps. So anywho, I had taken like 8 of these. I put it on the tongue, and then I had this huge reaction. Like my throat got super red and my uvula swelled, and people laughing. I'm like, I know, but it was scary, and I was itchy everywhere. And then so I went to the store and I got Sudafed, and it went up pretty quickly. But I had tried to taper back, and then I lost my voice completely right after taking it. So I'm like, okay, I know it's working. I know you can have reactions if you're allergic to bee pollen, but this is all the stuff in Arizona. So now I'm feeling a lot better. Like, I'm not taking my allergy pills every day. I'm just trying to see what happens. And I'm only doing 3 at a time, like under the tongue. So I went back to 2 and just kept that for a while. So there's that. I don't know how interesting that is to you guys. But going back to keto, look at, this is seriously, in like 5 days, I've eaten this many pork rinds. They're delicious. You can use them as a chip. You can eat them with guacamole. So, and then I got these crazy things. You put water in here, and they're like these little, they're not a humidifier, but they're supposed to like little air conditioners. And you plug them in, they're like with the USB cord. And it's like, I bought this extra charger thing, but it doesn't charge them. So it's annoying because they have to be plugged in. But there's a light that comes on, And it's pretty nifty, but it only lasts like an hour and a half or so. So if I put it on like in the room at nighttime, it's like, oh, it's really nice. But then the fan just runs all night with it being dry. So I don't know. I guess it's more better in the daytime when you're doing stuff. But so I've been crazy busy. So it's been weird. I've sort of talked to you guys about this before. But real estate's insane. And so I know we had talked about it also, that Phoenix, now I haven't checked the stats again because like right now I just don't have time and whatever. Phoenix is a crazy ass market in the first place. So Austin was number 1 and Phoenix was number 2, hottest market in the nation. And hottest doesn't mean, woo, everybody gets out the house of their dreams. It's been crazy. So I think I'm going to have to do another Candor with Katie about communication and stuff and how important that is, because what happened was I had clients in, okay, so just for a visual for you guys, I had clients in Buckeye, so I guess for you, clients in Buckeye that were selling a $500,000 house, and then they were buying in Apache Junction for $485,000. So they were selling a house, buying a house, okay? But buying this house was based on the fact that this house closed, okay? So that's what saved them really ultimately in the long run, but the lender wasn't truthful. And Honest didn't have all this stuff. So he had marked on his pre-qualification that he had some of the things, but he didn't, and had said, well, we're trying to verify the hours. So in my mind, I don't think that he educated his clients well enough, and I don't think the agent either. And so 6 days before closing, we were supposed to close that one last Monday, and then they were supposed to close on the buy on Wednesday. And so 6 days before closing, he's telling there's a problem, and they want to extend it to July 9th. And I'm like, but you can't extend it that long. Like this other, like they're not going to do that on the other side, And thankfully the listing agent on my buy side was amazing and super communicative. And that is not a phone call I want to make. I don't want to make a phone call to a seller who's also buying based on that sale and say, crap, this is worst case scenario. This is what could happen. This is a possibility. But it did happen. So I lost those 2 contracts, sales, and then a listing in Tucson with one of my very good friends who's like a family member. They canceled that buy on Sunday. I think they were just young people. Okay, Tiffany says, I can hear you. Yay, thank you so much. We discussed this, I think, earlier. So if you have on your phone, if you push mute or silent, then closed captioning will come up. And then if you take it off, then you can hear me. So I kind of like that there's not closed captioning just automatically, but who am I? So anywho, shoot, I lost my train of thought then. So on the other side, so then they canceled on Sunday. So I was thinking, there's all these things going on, and I've been having vertigo lately. I mean, and I'm just trying to stay positive because I'm thinking this is the thing. This is what we have to do. So when your vibration is up here, when you're up here, it brings everybody else up here, and you're in a stressful situation. And I've got clients whose sale just closed, and then their buy fell out, and then their buy did. And we got to just stay up because you know what? Back to square one. So basically, we had their house listed at $450,000. We got it under contract for $500,000. It appraised at $480,000. Yay, win-win for everyone. Buyers don't have to come in with as much money, but it cancels. Well, then we listed it again at $480,000. But now, so you have to look at it this way. Something's going to come out better. It's going to be better in the long run. Is it stressful? Absolutely. But it's going to build character, and you're going to learn something from it. So now we just got them under contract today, again, for $511,000. And everybody understands that it appraised at $480,000. So they're waiving the appraisal contingency and all of that stuff. And so that's a little bit of a relief, and they're going to lease back to the sellers, free for 1 month, and then a fee the second month if needed. But now we can go and find a home with a little bit more, confidence, because it is hard. Like even in this market, it is hard because that's what happens. If you accept an offer with a contingency, that is possibly what can happen. You can get through this whole thing. So literally the day of that closing, and then 2 days before theirs, it fell through. So I felt better because I've been like just really like so this is why I kind of wanted to talk tonight too, because I've really been like, okay, so I'm supposed to be, and I've talked about this a number of times, so I don't want to bore you, but I'm supposed to be posting this much, I'm supposed to be sharing this much, I'm supposed to be doing this for my business, I'm supposed to be doing this many advertisements, I'm supposed to be doing this, and I really want to be authentic, and I really want to be real, and I really want it to be, like when I want to do it. And so I was just thinking, well, you know what? I haven't been doing Candor with Katie for a while. So I'm just going to kind of lay off a little bit. I'm just going to share when I feel like sharing, and hopefully that's okay. Hopefully I haven't lost people over it or anything, but it did make me feel better. And I don't ask for referrals enough, so I do have to start doing that. But I was talking to her about that because last weekend I was spending, not this past weekend, but the one before, when they were possibly canceling, we didn't know for sure. And I was thinking, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to, why am I doing this job? I went from being a teacher, working my ass off, making no money, to being a real estate agent. I mean, this comes into play here in a minute, but why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. It's very stressful. I take on all of the stuff of my clients too. And I know I'm not supposed to, but I am getting better at, like, okay, it's going to work out. But you still have those stressful moments, but then she had told me, and it made me feel really, really good. And I'm just going to tell you, because I was telling her that, like, I was just having a moment, and this is stressful. Do you think I wanted to make that phone call to you? No, that's not easy. But the other side, the agent and the lender, were not taking my calls, not taking the emails, not taking my texts. So there's something wrong. But rip the Band-Aid off. I don't care. Even if it's bad news, we have to communicate and figure out what to do. I mean, you have to let my sellers plan. You know what I mean? You can't just blindside them like that. And so I was telling her that, and she said, well, yeah, though, I don't think I could have made it through with any other realtor but you. And so I was like, oh, thanks for saying that. That made my day. I feel like I'm just babbling now, but that's what I've been going through, is that stuff. And it's a lot of that. And so like now, 3 canceled contracts in a week, and I've got other buyers who are, facing, people paying $50,000 over and that kind of stuff. And so it's really, like I said, I got to keep myself up here, because, imagine being someone who's put 13 offers on a place and lost out to every single one of them. And it's like, oh, I just want to give up. But don't give up, because we'll keep at it and something will come about, and it will be, what it's supposed to be. So that's it. I mean, that's what I've been doing. And then I've been working on meditation and stuff, and it's been really strange, because yesterday, I don't know what's going on, but it's through this thing called Mind Valley, and you can pay like a yearly fee. It's like, I don't know, close to $600, but you can take all these classes and stuff. And I'm always trying to do that and working on things, and probably too much. I probably did too many things at one time. And then I'm like, oh, let me try this. Let me see if I can fix this, And it was strange, because yesterday's, and the little meditation things are like 9 to 15 minutes. And I was, and it was, you're supposed to go to like a moment in your past and, get those emotions from it, and then bring it up to the present, and then push it to the future or whatever. And it's just to keep that high level, I think. But, and then he said, picture yourself 5 years from now. I can't I don't know what the heck I'm going to be doing 5 years from now. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm not in my 20s and 30s anymore, because it's like, I'm not like, well, I'm going to get married and have kids, because I'm not going to do that. I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. It's a very weird realization. And I think, like I was talking to my sister, I think it's meant for you to kind of take a step back and take a look. And I'm not like upset about it or anything, but I'm just like, it's a very weird place to be in, So it's like all these things I'm thinking about and stuff. And that's like another thing. So I don't know if any of you are in the same boat or anything, but it's not easy. Like, and then you think, hey, we're coming out of COVID, it's gonna be great. And some people just aren't nice and stuff, So what I'm doing and what I'm working on is taking life as it is. Okay. So letting it go. It's like that book that I read before I showed you guys, The Power of Now. There's not much you can do about it. Okay. So just remember these things, and these are things I was thinking about, and then we'll be done. No one else is you, and that's a great thing. Okay. So even though, like that girl had said, that made me feel really good. Like, I don't think I could have gotten this through any other realtor but you. Well, that makes me feel good, because we all have different skill sets and abilities, and celebrate your uniqueness. Okay. We don't want you to be like everybody else. Okay. So stop comparing yourself to others. Even if we're same height, same build, and that kind of a thing, we don't have the same skill sets either. So that's part of it too. Okay, we got a comment. Shelly says, a lot of people are high stress, it seems to me. Not sure why, but I feel it too. Thank you, Shelly. Yeah, so kind of wanted to talk about it, because it's not like I'm like, well, but it's just a weird place to be in, So these are the things I'm working on. And so stop comparing yourself to others, and stop living in fear. You got to work on it to come out of it. So it's scary to have to talk to people when it's hard. It's scary. It was scary for me to have to say, to call my client and then to call the listing agent and be like, this is going on. I'm so sorry. Like, there's nothing I can do about it, you know? But Teresa says, I don't know where I'll be next week, let alone 5 years from now. I know. I was talking to another friend and telling her about it, and she said, gosh, if somebody asked me that, it would stress me out. And then I talked to another friend who's actually, it's so funny. I'm like, have you ever heard of Mind Valley? So maybe I'll share that at some point with Candor with Katie. She's like, oh my God, shut up. I'm doing a class on there. And she said, I feel the exact same way, like I do. So it's just a weird thing to, I don't know if I ever thought about that. Like, so like the funny thing is, maybe that's what I'll talk about next week. Cause all I ever wanted to do was be a talk show host like David Letterman, honestly, since I was a kid, besides being the female Indiana Jones. And then I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. And that's really what I graduated from school from, but then, got dissuaded. It's just funny. So that'll be my next Candor with Katie, I think, cause it'll be interesting. Danae, hey, gorgeous you, girl. Okay, so I got a couple more here. Stop living in fear. Taking a break's necessary. It was actually really good. Like I love doing Candor with Katie. I really do. I don't mind putting in the time, but sometimes I spend too much time doing that probably, and then not other things. And then here's the last thing, okay? Don't ever let anyone else tell you that you can't do something. And that means like you have a goal, you have something you want to do, you're excited about it, you tell someone and they're like, oh, that's too hard, or you're going to face this, this, and this. It's like I've said a number of times, oh, you want to quit teaching and go into real estate? Most realtors quit in the first 2 years or 3 years. And it's like, I don't want to say keep your mouth shut, but if someone is against you on something like that, just be steadfast in your quest, because who's living your life? You are, right? So I got to stop worrying about, oh, I'm supposed to post this much and this much. I'm supposed to share this much. I'm supposed to do this many advertisements, and I'll figure it out. Because we just take life as it comes, right? I'm not going to stress about this little stuff anymore. So Danae, yes, I am woman. Hear me roar. Roar. Baby, you're a firework. Thank you. I almost started singing the song. Shelly says, it's stressful coming out of this pandemic. I find myself wanting to avoid things and having to force myself to do it. Exactly. It's been strange. So, hey, if you guys have any ideas for future shows or whatever to talk about, like even this stuff, because I'm not a pessimist, okay? But I have noticed, and I've said it a number of times to other people, I thought the pandemic would make people nicer, and I am just seeing so much negativity out there. I'm seeing so many people just not being nice to other people, and it's weird. Stop it. I'd like to live in my happy little bubble, but I know how to face reality, and it's having people like you in my life and getting to do fun stuff like this. So thanks for joining me tonight. It was real simple. It was just, I should have called it Cocktails with Katie, but I only had a couple sips. So I'll see you next week. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about yet, but I'm going to try and get better about promoting that first as well. And I'm going to shorten my intro. So have a great week. And, so Danae, self-preservation at its finest, unfortunately. Yeah. So I'm also going to, Motivational Mondays will be back next Monday. I'm sorry, I was too busy this weekend. I was, planning on bringing everything back. I love the little Motivational Mondays too, because it doesn't take me that long to put a video together. And then my podcast with my lender, and that's more about the market and stuff. So maybe we'll talk about contingencies on Thursday. So love you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm so glad to be back. And I'll see you next week. Oh, and I'm going to start cooking some more things too. That'll be exciting. All right, bye.